using ChatGPT.
And I think people are so naive. If you can't see that something as simple as ChatGPT can take away so many hours of work.
To be honest with you, I'm not writing my emails anymore. I just give the topics to the AI.
I'll write it in docs and I'll always put it into ChatGPT and say, give me a version of this in a professional tone.
Yeah.
Serious?
So that podcast can literally be in Russian tomorrow, fully, with our mouth walk.
The same podcast we're doing right now.
The same exact.
That is crazy, man. So welcome everybody to another episode of the J2 Hub podcast. Today we're doing another three-person podcast. The last one we did was actually quite enjoyable. We you know what? It didn't even feel like a podcast. It felt like us just having a bit of a chat and having some fun. So today I'm joined by my sidekick B and Tam, our content creator, who's always with us on a Thursday morning. So look, first of all, I want to talk about an article that was sent to me by a client last night by Henley and Partners that talked about the number of millionaires living in the UK. Not living in the UK, leaving the UK. So the UK is known as being the second highest place where millionaires reside. Now, it's predicted that 9,500 millionaires are going to leave this year. That incomparable to 4,200 that left last year, and a lot of this is down to the new government that's coming into place that is really going to tax the rich and the wealthy. So all these people are thinking, you know what, fuck this, I'm not sticking around, I'm out of here, I'm on my bike, let me go. Tam, what do you think about it? I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right, no, I think it's called for. I've been in the UK for 30 hours. The worst 30 hours of my life. No offense.
Are you serious?
The worst 30 hours of my life. In those 30 hours, a person was shot next to my hotel. And then the Big Ben was vandalized. It was so funny because I was in the middle of the street. It was like in the London Bridge, I believe.
Okay.
And the Big Ben was right there. And then it was being vandalized and the police was there. Behind me was the police scene for the guy who was shot. To my right over the bridge was a protest against the prime minister. At that time, it was whatever this girl was running.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was there. And then I walked away from that, ran away from that. 5 hours later, the Queen's dead.
Are you serious? You were in the UK at that time?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I left it and I'm never going back. And I was always robbed. I almost robbed. First 5 seconds. I come out of the tube, of the bus.
On the escalator?
Yeah, and I have my camera because I wanted to vlog.
Uh-huh.
And a guy starts following me.
Oh, did you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, very clear. I could see him in the reflection of the camera. Just like, like walking, waiting for me to enter an alleyway or something.
Yeah.
Said I went next to the police, and then he started walking backwards, the opposite side.
You know what it is? I think I think here in Dubai, we just take safety for granted, right? You just think nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
In fact, nothing is going to happen.
Nothing is going to happen now.
You know, like well, let's not jinx it, but still, yesterday we're having lunch and I left my bag there, and I think there was, we had to do a payment for a client, so there was maybe 50,000 dirhams in there, and you've gone off to use the toilet, and you're not panicked. Like, whereas in the UK, you'd be like, fuck, man, I've got 20 quid in my bag. Someone might nick that. Forget the 20 quid, they'll nick the bag.
You were when you came to Dubai. Still, sometimes you are.
Yeah, still a little bit. Yeah, like he says, I'm still a little bit nervous when I'm in Dubai, knowing full well that no one's going to touch your shit, Literally, no one's going to take your stuff.
Yeah. Nothing.
But B, what's your opinions on it? What do you feel about millionaires leaving? And, we hear it all the time because you deal with clients. You've dealt with UK clients as well. What's your thoughts on it all?
The thing is that it's not only about UK now. We're seeing that everyone are moving to Dubai. I'm not sure if those who are leaving UK are moving to Dubai or anywhere else. But because I'm not expert about UK, I never lived there. I've never been to UK. So I don't want to talk about that. Yeah. But it's in general, everywhere, like all the millionaires and billionaires are migrating from this country to others. And most of them are coming to Dubai. Dubai last year has the highest number of millionaires and billionaires coming here and start a business, getting the visa, buying properties. This is what I know about Dubai. Yeah. And I see this in Iran as well.
Oh, what, millionaires coming over from Iran to Dubai?
They were always here.
Yeah.
Like Iranian billionaires and millionaires, they were always investing in Dubai since 25 years ago when there was no real estate, when there was no freehold project in Dubai. But now I see that there are more of them coming here.
Mm.
Many more. I never seen as many as Iranian that I'm seeing here.
I
this
didn't
year.
know any Iranian billionaires till I met B. He's the first Iranian billionaire I know. That's why we call him Billion B. Yeah, but look, I think it's not surprising what's going on. You know, in the UK, obviously you've only spent limited time there. You've never been there before. There's a lot of red tape, and I say it all the time. I say that I think the reason why Dubai does so well is that there's one person making a decision, right?
Yeah.
So if Sheikh Mohammed turns around and says we're expanding this road and it needs to be done in 7 months, it's going to be done in 7 months, you know, because the guys made the decision. The work will start the next day.
We can see the example in Hesse Street next to JVC.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, now
expanding
that
the
I'm
road.
moving, now they're doing it. Now that I'm moving, they're doing it.
And you know what? This is the other thing. When they see an issue as well, they actually address the issue, right? If they know there's a traffic issue, they address it. Whereas in the UK, they let it get so damn bad until a bridge is falling over that they'll build a new bridge. So I feel because there's one person making a decision here in this country, it makes it a lot easier. Whereas in the UK, there's so many red tape you need to follow. If you want to build a flipping extension on your house, you want to extend it, you got to go to the council. The council writes to the neighbours to say, oh, what do you think of this? Do you like it? The neighbour's going to write back and say, oh, when I'm drinking my coffee in the garden in the morning, the sunlight's going to be blocked. You should object it. Oh, no, this person shouldn't be allowed to make their house better because I can't afford to make mine better. So they should live in a shit tip as well. So there's all this red tape that you have to follow. And yeah, I think to a certain degree, red tape's nice, but it restricts you.
It restricts so much. And not only that, when it comes to any big country decision, not only do you have to go through all of that, reach the prime minister, you then need to go to the UN or to the European Union, and the European Union needs to consult with America, and America needs to consult with Israel, and everybody just by the time.
Yeah, and the person who's put the application in his head. By that.
Exactly.
Man,
Or they've killed him.
Wow. But anyway, look, let's leave Dubai aside for a minute. A topic that's really pricked my attention recently has been AI. Well, it's been pricking my attention for quite a while, for over a year now. And when I first came across AI, it was in the early 2000s when one of my university lecturers was doing a PhD in AI. And he said to me, he goes, James, if you want to have sleepless nights, you want to have a brain that's about to explode, and you want to do a topic that nobody really knows anything about, look at AI. And back then, artificial intelligence was all different. You just imagined like robots doing all kinds of crazy shit. But now, man, AI is on a different level. And I think, personally speaking, over the last 6 months, I've probably consumed a lot of AI podcasts, a lot of social media podcasts, because these are two areas that interest me. I think if you're a content creator out there right now, or somebody who produces content, and you're not looking at AI, I think you're cuckoo.
Yeah.
You know, you as a content creator, what is your opinion on AI?
No, like, again, agencies and content creators and all of that is being saturated, right? So if you've got too many of them, here in Dubai as well, you have too many of them.
Are they like
All
real
these-
estate agents?
No, the content creators and the
No,
content.
but I mean, like you said, there's too
Oh
many.
yeah, it is starting to be like real estate
But
agents.
do you get so if you walk into a coffee shop and you say,
Yeah,
I'm a
50-50.
I'm a content creator, do you feel bad? Because like if we turn around and said to somebody said to me and B, what do you do as a profession? And we said, oh, we're in real estate. They go, oh, you dark horses.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
you con artists.
Yeah, but I don't label myself as a content creator. I label myself as a personal branding.
Oh, okay.
You know, so yeah, but in general, now I'm going to start labeling myself as an AI agency owner,
Okay.
because then I'm going to try to make the content the least bit of it.
Okay.
Right. Now, that helps me with multiple things. Number one is obviously I could charge more because I'm entering more of the realm, like more in depth with the client. I am less saturated. I am more high in demand. I have high net worth clients, which means I network with more high net worth people.
Mhm.
And at the same time, I can scale easily without needing to necessarily be there all the time. Right? So I'm not tied down to a certain place. I can run my AI in Bali if I want to.
Mhm.
Right? It will still work. And the funny thing is, if you sit somebody down and you explain to them how the system works that I do, they'll say, well, I could have done it myself. Why am I paying you that much?
Yeah, but why haven't you?
Why haven't you? Exactly.
Yeah, that's a catch.
Why haven't you? It's extremely simple. Yes, you just log in here, you just put this, link it to that, link it to this. Thank you very much. Good night. And you were like, well, what the hell? We're like, yeah, exactly.
If you can do it.
Exactly.
can do it,
Why didn't you figure it out?
Yeah. I mean, it's like us. We could create content. We could shoot videos, but we're not we're not experts at it.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody who's got that level of thinking behind it, because I think when you showed me the system that you're putting together, I don't want to talk too much about it and give anything away, but it was very simple when you look at it. But I'm looking at it thinking, I wouldn't do this because I'm too lazy to do this. I want somebody to come along and do this really well for me, because there's all the other aspects around it. The initial fundamentals is literally like just laying a concrete base, but then you're building on top of it. You got this person. I don't want to say what positions because it gives too much away, but you got this person dealing with this person dealing with this. It becomes a whole crew that deals with this for you. But
and also every couple of months, you're going to have new things coming along.
Yeah.
So even if you do it yourself, you're going to have to keep on the loop, and you're going to have to stay. You're not going to have the time to keep updated all this time. And then who's going to maintain the AI that's already there? Who's going to organize it? Who's going to do so many things? Because the thing I showed you, by the way, was just surface level, just as you said, it's the concrete level.
Yeah.
This is the part where, hey, I have this thing, I have this AI. Here, you could test it out free of charge, because I'll do it in 5 minutes. But then once you see the surface level, what it can do, money.
Yeah.
Right? So
True.
that's where the big value is. And how I always thought about it is, you know how funnel is? It's like an upside down pyramid.
Mhm.
Content's on top. That's in general for any industry. Content is on top, and then the bottom part is closing the deal.
Yeah.
The closer I can come to closing the deal, the more unique and the high more I can charge. The more unique I am, and the more I can charge. Right? So the closer I go from content creation to the lead nurturing, to the lead organization, to the lead qualification, right? And all you need to do is just warm call close. Then I've taken all the steps away from you. All you got to do is just ballpark, hit the ball, hit the home run. And then once you have a bunch of leads coming in, hire an appointment setter, and that's it, done. All you got to do is then now just go to the viewing, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You have to do the viewing, collect the check. So the more I can, that's initially the thought that I had. How can I get closer to there? And then AI was the way that I found out. I was like, okay.
You know, they say, like, to create a multi-million-dollar business or a multi-billion-dollar business, you need to just solve problems.
Yeah.
You know, solve the biggest problems people are having out there. And I think this is a big problem.
True.
Or if you're taking content seriously, this is a big problem.
Yeah.
So I think what you're doing is very, very good, because if you look back through business, the people that have made $1 million businesses or $1 billion businesses have solved a problem. They've sold something that I've been moaning about, like saying, you know what, I wish we could fucking do this because I hate this.
Yeah.
Somebody's listened to that and gone and bought something in to do that. And 1 million other people have had that problem. So when you're solving problems, you can make good money. B, I want to ask you a question. As English being as your second language, how has AI helped you?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I'm not writing my emails anymore. I just give the topics to the AI. It writes for me.
Yeah.
It helping me a lot in different aspects in life and business, everything, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like this Chat GPT is crazy.
Have you been writing love letters to your wife?
No. That
yet.
one is personal.
I don't want anyone. You hire a VA to go on ChatGPT
and write it.
and
for
actually
you.
do nothing. You automate your love
Outsource, baby.
And it's shocking me that so many people in Iran and even outside the Iran, they don't even know about ChatGPT.
Yeah.
They're not using ChatGPT.
You know, we've been using it for over a year now, from the point where it came out. And I think people are so naive. If you can't see that something as simple as ChatGPT can take away so many hours of work. Now, English is my first language. I read, write it. But even me, when I'm forming a complex email, I'll write it in docs and I'll always put it into ChatGPT and say, give me a version of this in a professional tone, aimed at a solicitor or aimed at a tenant.
Yeah.
And it will come back with something. You think, this is a good
Yeah.
improvement.
And then
Like,
you
I
can
read
take
this.
that one and say, okay, just make it shorter. Okay, just add this part to it. Okay, do it like I am talking to this guy with this
Yeah.
tone and explaining about these things. It will give you everything.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a godsend for kids at the moment in schools. Like my son, he's like,
I wish I had it so badly, bro.
my son's like, oh, Dad, can I have your Google login? I go, why? He goes, because I need your ChatGPT 4. I go, what for? He goes, I've got a school project. I go, what lesson have you got tomorrow? He goes, English. I go, what are you trying to plagiarize? What are you trying to do? You know, and his whole thinking, he goes, why should I excel myself to this level when AI can take me to that level?
He's
without me
right, by
doing
the
much?
way. The AI takes jobs. The people who can use AI will take the other people's who cannot use the AI jobs. So when the teacher says don't use AI, you're preparing them to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's different. Look, the same thing. You remember when we were using Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
When Instagram came, everyone like, oh no, I don't want to download this application.
I was too young for that.
Yeah, I'm using Facebook.
2009 is when Instagram was out, right? I was like
Yeah, but at first,
6 years old.
I think you remember
Yeah.
that when we were using Facebook before Instagram.
You had to be
I know-
invited.
Yeah, you had to be invited.
Really?
You had
Yes,
to be
yes.
invited to use Facebook, yeah. So you'll be at college. Oh, bro, please invite me.
And yeah, I remember like even before WhatsApp, we were using an application called Viber. I
Okay.
don't know if you were
Yeah,
using
Viber,
in
I
UK.
know Viber.
Viber.
In Egypt,
They
we still use
yeah,
Viber.
with the purple
Wait,
logo.
as long as it wasn't a vibrate.
Or we had Uvo for video
Okay.
calls.
Okay.
And no one wanted to download WhatsApp. No one wanted to download Telegram. No one wanted to download Instagram because they were like, oh, we're used to it. We're used to Facebook. We're used to Viber. We're used to Uvo. The same thing is happening for AI, man.
Yeah.
People doesn't want to use ChatGPT. People doesn't want to use AI because they're saying, oh no, it's like too much automation. We want to keep it natural.
Yeah.
But they're going to lose their job.
You know, I translated an English document into Punjabi the other day, yeah? I mean, I can speak Punjabi, but I can't read or write it. I translated the document and I sent it to my uncle. And he's fluent in Punjabi. He goes to me, he goes, wow, this is like really well written. I didn't tell him. He goes, who wrote this? I said, me. He goes, how? And then when I explained to it, I used a AI conversion tool. He said to me, that was written in actual true Punjabi style. There was no slangs in it. There was no like made up words. He goes, I would say it was 100% accurate. And I'm thinking, going back to looking at Google Translate will always mess a few things up, right?
Oh,
I'm thinking, this thing has now converted Punjabi 100%.
Yeah.
What does that mean to me as someone who produces content? Could I now start producing PDFs in Punjabi that go out to other markets? Could I now start producing guides or ebooks that are done in different languages that are going out to different markets? How can I use this to hit?
Do you know
audiences?
that there's AI that can actually, let's say you're making a video now in English,
Mhm.
it will literally just change your voice and change you into whatever other language and
Yeah.
make your mouth move in that language.
Are you serious?
So that podcast can literally be in Russian tomorrow fully with
That's
our mouth
mad.
walk.
the same
and
podcast we're doing right now.
The same exact.
That is
just take it,
crazy, man.
right?
Yeah, I've heard of voice recognition AI where you speak to the AI tool for a minute and you upload 3 minutes of your own voice and then you give it a script and
Yeah.
it actually creates an audio file of you speaking. So that's pretty mental as
Yeah,
well.
that's 11 Labs.
Yeah, that's it. 11 Labs. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking, man, on a content level,
Yeah.
this is phenomenal.
Yeah, on a content level, is very good. The key is connecting all the puzzle pieces together.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know that I have known of these AIs, bro, for 6 months.
Yeah.
And I've been sitting there. How the hell do I connect it together? Because I could be like, okay, I'll create you AI content. Okay, but okay, yeah. Thank you. Now I'm putting on more content. That what is that really gonna do?
Yeah.
I maybe get paid $500 more. Or wow. But if I want to make more, then I gotta funnel it down.
Yeah. Because look, you're targeting real estate agents, right?
Coaches as well. Pretty much anybody who has any sort of product over $1,000.
Yeah.
And is using calls to close their deals.
Yeah.
Right? Because what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna sit down, you're gonna have your phone, lead come, it automatically goes into your CRM. You or your VA can call whatever. Then you just move it, contacted, not contacted, booked, whatever. And then once they're ready, you just press one button for a consult, and it sends like an entire email with a consultation call. Thank you, we just had the call, blah blah blah. If you want to book the consultation call that we just spoke about, here it is, the link, they book, and then you close. So anybody who has that end funnel, the entire rest of the funnel will work for them.
Okay.
And it will be affordable.
So how much qualified you can do? Like, okay, on Meta, when you do the
I made
campaign,
70 qualified leads with
how qualified? 90%, 95%?
Like, okay, so
I'm asking because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to compare. Like, we
so
are
for
running a
coaches-
campaign.
So for coaches, we ran one Instagram story that lasted 24 hours. And within that 24 hours, within the 24 hours, we got 70 leads. The 24 hours are now gone, but we're still getting leads in. How? There's no story. Because a lot of the guys did not fill in the qualification form, but we then have still AI coming and poaching them to complete it. And it's completed, so we're still getting leads.
There's a secondary trigger on the AI.
So second, third, fourth, fifth.
Wow, yeah.
There's a trigger, and triggers from everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? And then once they've completed that, you get the WhatsApp message. That's like the surface level. This is like, that's what I can share. Other than that, there's much deeper. Yeah. But out of those 70, about 50 were like qualified by the meaning that they have the money. They want what you're offering. By what they're offering is they don't know you're offering something, but you know they want it because your free guide is only for people who want that.
So more than 65% of the leads.
Yes, like minimum it to be 50-50 because what we ask in there. So for instance, with the coach, we asked him. So I can share this one. It's basically for real estate agents. Mm-hmm. It's called it's a coaching program. So the free value was a cold calling script.
Okay.
Right? And we made a story about the cold calling script. We asked questions, we gathered some data, and then the qualification question was how many deals have you closed in the past couple of months? So based upon how many deals you've closed, we kind of can guess how much you can afford.
Yeah.
From the previous data, which the client had, he said that the clients he was able to close for his coaching calls in the past 6 months closed 2 to 3 deals, sometimes even 1 or 0, but average 2 to 3 deals. The number of leads that we've got that were above 1 to 2 deals were more than 50%.
So good qualified agents are already closing.
He just needs to call them now. That's it. And by the way, like if
this is where it can fuck up because if you don't do the call right, you could really mess it up.
Yeah, if you don't do it. But that's not my job. My job is to bring the lead to the door. That's what I get paid for.
But I asked this one because as a business owner, as a broker in the market, it's important for me at least to get qualified leads.
That's like 10,000 dirhams of ads. If you were to multiply by 150 dirhams per lead.
Look,
I'll tell you what this guy's frustrated at. He sees bank notifications, Facebook, 1,000 dirhams, 1,000 dirhams, 1,000 dirhams. What have we got in?
I don't have a problem spending money. And on the first day, we were discussing, we said, look, if, for example, we're paying 50,000 for the rent of our office, we have to pay 50,000 only for the marketing. In terms of budget, we don't have any issue. And the other day, we had a meeting with our marketing guy. And he said, look, your cost per lead is like 115 dirham. I said, look, if you give me the cost per lead is like 350 or 400, I don't have an issue. I don't want to receive 100 leads, each one costing 115. And out of those 100 leads, we can close one. I prefer to have 20 leads, which each one costing me 500 dirham, but out of that 20, I can close 10. This is more important thing, and I think there are people outside who are thinking like me.
See,
sorry to interrupt, for some of the agents, it's important to get number of leads. Okay, we generated 10,000 leads in the last month.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Out of the 10,000 leads, and our cost per lead was 10 dirham. I don't care. You spend 100,000 dirham.
See, this is what the big companies are doing. The big companies that have 100 agents are just getting shit in.
Junk leads. Yeah. Junk leads. Out of 10,000, maybe you can close 10. And they're happy with it. Oh, our closing ratio is 0.1%.
Because remember what happened to us when we worked for a big firm? You'd ring a lead and the guy would go, oh, sorry, brother, I'm a taxi driver. Or,
no way.
I am a laborer. And you're thinking, how the fuck have you managed to give me a lead for a blue-collar worker that, is going to struggle to buy anything?
People, look, brokers, they don't have time to waste. They're thinking, okay, real estate, it can be a part-time job. But believe me, it cannot be. It cannot be. If you want to be a shitty broker, you can have it as a part-time job. Or you received the lead from a family. Or there's a family wanted to buy. Okay, you can do that. But you cannot be a successful agent. As a full-time broker, you don't have time to waste.
Yeah.
So it's important. I'm asking this question because I want people to know, those who are listening, that how valuable is your services.
Let me ask you something, okay? I'll tell you something.
So guys, if you're thinking of investing in Dubai, we offer 2 services. Number 1, you can book a consultation call with us. Now what this consultation call involves, it's a full overview of Dubai where we show you what's going on where the new up and coming spots are to invest. It's a totally free call, so I highly advise if Dubai is pricking your attention, get that call booked in so you can find out where to invest next.
You've got your content as a lead nurturing machine, right? And that's initially. So what it does is you see the guy sees you once, twice, 3, 4 times. You said it yourself yesterday to me. The guy who bought via the paid ads already knew you from the organic content.
Yeah.
Right? So the organic content here acted as the nurturer.
Yeah, because the thing is, now the agency is going to say, "Ooh, we closed the deal." But have you really closed the deal? Because the guy already knew me.
Look,
It's still a conjoint effort, I would say, because they generated the lead.
Exactly.
I've nurtured the lead.
Maybe it was that last push. He's following you for 2 years, but he needed that push from the sponsored ad
That's what
to message you.
That's exactly why I made the AI. That's exactly because imagine instead of just watching, they had some sort of call to action. And that call to action could then generate them into a lead machine, right? So now you have the generation machine into the nurturing machine all linked together. Because how many times is some guy who's following you going to see your ad? That's not really likely. But if they're following you and seeing a call to action in your video, and then they go into a machine that's a lead qualification, that's 100 times more likely because they're seeing it in front of them in the organic content. So that's what I fixed. I've made 2, and now the last step is just to close. So there's 3 steps: the lead generation, lead nurture, lead closing.
That's important.
I've covered 2. And that way you have just like a cycle, and it's all one guy. You don't need to run this way, this way, this way. Because what I have is CRM integration, email marketing.
Hugely important.
Yes, email marketing. So the guy's being poached all the time. Once you call him, if he wants to book a call, because the call is just a starter introduction call, and you then book him into an actual consultation call, all you do is just go into the CRM, press one button, sends an entire template, customized, made. Thank you for the call, blah, 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 blah. Sends the email, he books the call, and then you close him from there. And then it's email marketing, CRM integration, AI automation, then the organic content. You basically, I have a chart of it. Let me just pull up the chart real quick. I'll show it to you because I made like one where I explained the cost saving.
That was my next question. Because it's important.
You know how I compare it? I compare it like a tube train. Once your lead is on the train, every so often they're going to make a stop at a station and you're going to sell them something, right?
Yeah.
Unless they unsubscribe, they're going to stay on that train going round and round and round your funnel and constantly be marketing to.
Dr. Anand Menon was always saying that you have to do the pulse check.
Yeah.
Every 1 week, every 10 days.
Have you done a pulse check?
Weeks.
Yeah.
This is important.
Yeah, I've got it here.
He's a legend.
He's a legend.
we need him in here, actually.
Yeah.
So, doctor, if you're listening, we want you.
Yeah. I've got it here. Like, this is how an agency would work, or a coaching or an agency would do. They would hire a content creator, which would cost them $2,000, right? Well, that's including the ideas, the editing, basically everything we do. And then email marketing guy, a good one would be like 1.5K, like a very good one with the copywriter and everything.
Which AI can do for you, copywriting.
Yeah. And then you'd have your paid ads guys, which would be $4,000 for 100 leads a month. All right. Softwares, which would be $500 if you're using many software, many admins, because you're going to be talking to many different guys, $500 per month. And then the AI automation and the CRM integration with the guys who are maintaining it would be $1,000 per month. And if you have a very good social media manager who's just there with the captions and the hashtags and just that's his job, it would be $1,000 per month. So the whole thing would be $10,500 per month, and you're running around everybody.
Yeah.
With the system I've built, I'm planning to do like 5.5K or 5K within that range as a starter. And then you've got the content creator, the social media management, the email marketing, AI automation, the CRM, software, organic leads, and one guy handling it all that you're talking to. No million guys that you need to run around.
It's amazing for the startup business, man.
Absolutely, man. If somebody's out there and they think data sheets are still the way to go, there's something wrong with you.
Buy Google Sheet leads.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing we really use data sheets for is an outreach campaign. If we want to try and find a unit for a client, we'll have the whole list called. and hopefully find something directly from an owner. But even then, these lists are so outdated because the buyers have changed so many times, and it takes a long while for them to update. But there's still so many businesses running off these data sheets.
Yeah. Oh, also, yeah, with a lot of the times, a lot of companies, what they do is they don't run paid ads in-house. They run paid ads with other agencies, which give them the same list they've given like a million other guys.
Yeah.
And they give it to them and they're like a month old. Oh, we're going to send you the list once a month campaign is done. And then with the organic thing, you get the lead now, you call them now, end of story.
So these agencies are selling the same data, multiple to multiple.
Oh, yeah.
Not all of them, few of them. But
few of the shady ones,
Yeah. Oh, it's it's crazy out there, bro. And even if not, a lot of times they give you the leads late if they don't have AI integrated.
And if you don't receive the leads within 5 minutes, you're going to lose the lead.
Yeah.
There's 80% chance that the leads will not going to answer you anymore.
Absolutely. They're going to go somewhere else. It's just the way we are as well.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah. It reduces the chances of your lead. I think it reduces by 50%, 80%, like you said, of it being hot.
Yeah.
So it needs to be contacted straight away. Yeah.
So, and that's the beauty of AI. Sometimes you're sleeping, sometimes you're in a meeting, sometimes you're doing many things which you cannot answer like right away. So what AI will do for you, in a second they receive a lead, email gone, WhatsApp gone.
Yeah. AI doesn't sleep.
AI doesn't sleep.
Humans do. But anyway, so guys, if you're listening and you want to find out more about AI, you can reach out to Tam. He's quite easy to find. He's the very tall guy who has a fast cars.
Just one more question, Tam. We have like Dubai's international market. We have agents, brokers from each and every nationality. They speak different languages. Can you do this for all of them?
Yeah.
Like if they speak Farsi, if they speak
It doesn't
Russian,
matter as long as they have. So the main point is there has to be an organic reach.
That's important.
That's important, you know. So if they're starting fresh, brand new, we'll probably just do content. That's it. So we'll just do the content package until the reach starts getting high, and then we'll start implementing the AI once it's enough. Otherwise, you're just wasting money because you don't have anything yet.
It's all to Iranian agents. You can contact him. You can message him. He can help you with it. He's helping me.
Yeah, the thing is, so many agency, content creator agencies here are going out making content for all these guys, going viral for them. Some of the big ones, and they have no idea about the system. No idea. They're wasting so much money. Like with this, I'm guessing by the end of the year, man, I'm out of here.
Once you sack everybody, make sure you keep us as well. Right, let's move on to another topic, guys.
Yes.
So you don't have children. Tam, you don't have children, or I don't know of any children that you two have. I want to talk about. Might have one here or there. I want to talk about bringing children up in Dubai in comparable to other parts of the world.
Never. I'm not doing it. I think you're doing a mistake. I'm not doing it.
So look, my kids have been brought up in the UK as well as Dubai. So the comparable for me is there's a lot of shit going on in the UK which I don't agree with. And I think number one, we touched on it briefly in another video, where I think the biggest one for me is the level of detail kids are being taught sexually on topics. Like my 7-year-old, or at the time he would have been 5-year-old in not even primary school, infant school. Why does he need to know about masturbation and oral sex? Can somebody tell me that? Why? Or why does he need to know about you can identify as a man, you can identify as a woman, or you can identify as a mix and a blend?
Because countries profit off of crisis. Why do you think there's an immigration problem in the UK? You think they're not solving it? You don't think they can just say no? In America, they can. They don't want to. Because as long as they keep coming here, they can keep blaming anything they do in the immigrants. You know, do you guess who they blamed the 2008 market crash on?
Immigrants?
The immigrants. Guess who they blamed the UK crime on?
Immigrants? Yeah.
So
guess who they blame the demise of the UK and the immigrants? It's always the immigrants.
Yeah.
So as long as we keep people coming in illegally, we can keep. And it's not like they just get them. But by the way, they pay them to do this stupid thing that they do in the whatever
guys, we're going
they
too
pay
deep.
them.
We're going too deep.
Yeah. You know, some of the hate comments I've had on my post, that you'll hear the word immigrant, or you hear the one that really annoys me. They'll say Islamic immigrants not welcome. It's like, what? How does a faith change an immigrant.
You know what's so funny? No, because you know what's so funny? That it's absolutely hilarious to me. The UK wouldn't have done any tiny bit of what they have done, right? If it wasn't for Muslims.
Yeah.
Right? Because we've established trade. Mecca was the center of trade of the world at a certain point. It was one of the first ones, right? It welcomed everybody from around the world. The guy who invented algorithms, the guy who commented on, used a phone which used an algorithm that was invented by an Iranian guy called Al-Khwarizmi, who was a Muslim guy. You see, so the thing you're using to comment and hate about the Islamists are coming was made initially by a Muslim.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't understand. So all these hate comments that I get on the posts, I look at them and I think it's the typical profile.
Yeah.
It's a typical UK white British bloke or a woman where you look through their profile, you think there's not much going on here. There's a lot of pictures in the pub. They're out fishing. I've never understood fishing, especially in a dirty little lake in the UK. I can understand fishing out in the sea on a big yacht, and they seem to have this stereotypical profile. And all they comment on is, yeah, you're an immigrant. Get out of this country. You're not welcome. Or I've heard, you packy bastard. Or, you Islamic bomber terrorist. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on a second. Let's go back in history and let's have a look at the stats.
Yeah.
Number one, my mother and father came to this country as immigrants, yeah? And they worked their asses off. I am a British Indian. I class myself as a British Indian, yeah? Which means I've got probably exactly the same amount of rights as you, if not probably a little bit more. Now, go back in history and the wealthiest race in the UK is the Jews, secondly followed by the Sikhs, which is my faith, And I've got Tracy here in the pub fucking saying, you packy bastard, get out of my country. What the fuck have you done for this country? What have you done?
Served beer.
I look at these comments.
Rather than serving.
Yeah. I'm looking at this comment.
drinking.
Dropping it. Let me ask you. You said, that was another funny one. You said Islamist bomber, killer, whatever. World War I, World War II, Cold War, French Revolution, all revolutions, Civil War. How many murders have happened? The Crusades. Who did all of this?
Muslims involved. Yeah?
None of this was Muslim. We were not even involved in any of them.
Not
even one guy was like, bro, I was looking at a stat, yeah. I was sitting down, I was like, okay, let's just say that all the propaganda that you've said, that all the terrorist attacks in the world that have happened in the past 50 years were actually really by Muslims. Like 9/11, all these other things, all of them were actually by Muslims. If you calculate the number, I'm guessing it would be like 10,000 people dead, 15,000, 20,000, 100,000 people dead. Sorry very much. Yeah, obviously sad. How many Iraqis did America kill? Civilians alone, 1 million.
Yeah.
In just one war that was unjustified.
Yeah. There's no stats about that, is there? Nobody's shouting about that.
1 million Iraqis in one war. That's excluding World War I, which 30 million people died. World War II, which another 20 million more people died. How can you even compare? If anything, you Brits are the ones who are terrorist bombers.
The other comments
You're the
I
ones
get.
who colonized people.
Yeah. Tam, I get comments like, my granddad fought in World War I and World War II, and it's your lot that came over and fucked up the country. How? Tell me how. Our lot came here, worked their asses off, started businesses, started real estate, started building property. Chances are the houses that you rent are owned by an immigrant.
Yeah.
Because the UK population, the white person in the UK is the lowest homeowner.
The city's owned by Qataris, bro.
Exactly.
So it's owned by Muslims. What are you talking about?
You're calling me an immigrant. Chances are the house you live in or you rent is owned by an immigrant. Yeah, the shop that you go and buy your beer and your cigarettes is owned by Mr. Patel. Hello, Tracy, what can I get you? 20 fags and 4 cans of beer. So don't be coming at me with those hate crimes because I'm only doing what people can see. These people that are commenting hate comments, they're in a position where they can't change their circumstances. If they can't change their circumstances, what do? They go on a warpath and start going at you because they can't change it.
Guys, look. It's my belief. Maybe it's not true, but governments, politicians have to give people something to fight. Like before, maybe it was religion. Okay, now we are seeing young generation. They don't believe in religion that much, so now they have to give them something else. Gay. lesbians. Okay,
It's-
gay
it's
lesbian
sad.
is done now.
Yeah.
Okay, they accepted this one. Okay, they're not fighting with each
Yeah.
other anymore. Now let's go back to something else. Gender.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a boy, you can be a girl. You're a girl, you can be a cat.
Yeah.
You can be a non-binary.
I'll tell you
bullshit.
something. I was
These
talking-
are
He, she,
sorry
she,
to
she?
interrupt,
No,
but
no.
these things are coming for people to get engaged, to
Yeah.
fight with each other, so government can rule them.
Yeah.
No. It's a double-edged sword, you know. On one edge of the sword, it's exactly that, which distraction, so that we can do whatever we want while you guys are playing in the puddle. Like I've seen it. Like I've seen protests for pride or whatever, and literally you're doing it while the parliament is literally deciding on a bill that's gonna fuck you over
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
What are you doing? So that part, that's one. And then the other edge of the sword, as I like it to call it, depopulation and demasculinization. Right? Depopulation, make everybody gay so that there's less people next generation, because obviously you're not giving birth anymore.
True.
And then demasculinization, because, well, who does the revolutions against us? It's men. So if there's no men, we can do whatever the fuck we want. So that's the other edge of the sword.
You know what was really remarkable to me? When I went to the UK last, I went to a service station on the highway and I stopped to use the lavatory. And there was a he, she, and neutral.
Really?
What the? I was like this. I'm like, okay, well, I'm definitely not a her. I'm a he. But what is this one in the middle? Does that mean I can use it?
Yeah.
Should I go in there and use it? Or will somebody say to me, oi, are you
Yeah.
mixing a blade?
Yeah. I used to play FIFA when I was young. And whenever you always had to make an account, I remember it was just he and she.
Yeah.
Right? Or like,
Okay.
now I made, like, I haven't played video games in a while, and I remember 3 months ago I was like, oh, let me just download the new FIFA game, play, open, choose your gender. Okay. Zzz.
You
I'm like,
serious?
what the fuck? It's like choosing your country.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? And when I first went to the Netherlands, so I was single at that point, so I could say what I'm about to say. I was in a supermarket. First time I went there after high school, and I hear like heels passing by. I was like, oh, she's gonna be a nice woman. Let me look at her. And I look, and I'm starting to look up, and like, oh, like heels and like tight skirt, and I'm like, oh, and I look up, and it's a guy with a beard, and I'm like, tough. Fuck. I'm 18 at that point. I was like, yeah, like, on God, that was the most horrific thing I've ever seen.
Damn, man, that must have ruined any feeling you were having at that point. Like,
what? I became neutral at that point. It was crazy, bro.
yeah, so look,
That's what's
there
happening,
are a
man.
couple of the things that are really starting to annoy me, man. Like the thing about the cat, that was a weird one, because I read that this kid was identifying as a cat, so it could go round to other children and start scratching it and start pinching it, but those other kids couldn't say nothing because that would offend the cat's feeling. I'm thinking, when I was in school, if anybody tried that shit, I was in school just on the border when they couldn't give you a little clip round the ear, but there was a few teachers that would have given you a full-on firm nudge. There was no way that shit would go down when I was in school, because teachers were proper fucking men. You know, in fact, the women were proper men as well. You were scared of a teacher, you know. Now, a teacher can't say anything out of line because it might hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
You're there to learn. You're there to man up. If it was up to me, I think they should bring back a little clip on their ear to a kid when he's fucking about. You know, but they've made it so easy. Oh, little Johnny, how are you feeling today? Oh, you want to identify as a teddy bear? Go and sit in the corner and have a little cry. What the
No,
hell?
I think the teachers know that as well, and they don't like it. But I think they're just being forced to. I think it's just a school policy, and
You
the thing
cannot
is,
do
they're
anything.
all living paycheck to paycheck. So if they say no, they're gone. Have you seen this video of the guy? It was last year. It was for Pride Month. He was taking out of the UK flag and hanging the Pride flag, and then one civilian came and he told him, "You're ruining the country. This is our demise." And the guy who was working, removing the UK flag and putting the Pride flag, he said, "I know, but I have to. I have no other choice. I have kids to feed." You know, he literally said, "Okay, I know, but what am I supposed to do?" So it feels like it's been a 200, 300 year plan. Make everybody paycheck to paycheck, force them to do this, and who knows what's next.
Yeah.
It's been a plan. It's very clear now. That's starting to be very clear that It's all connecting.
Yeah,
The entire past hundreds of years.
And then look, a few years ago, we had this COVID bullshit, which I still think's bullshit.
No.
I never had no vaccine. No vaccines at all. I carried on traveling the world. I had a vaccine passport, but I didn't have no vaccines. And I'm so glad I didn't have that bullshit put into me, because I swear there's people walking around with a gimpy leg and they're a little bit fucked up. And I honestly feel that was a way to control population, because how many thousands and thousands of people were dying daily?
Well, look, vaccine, I don't know. Okay, maybe because it will take years and years of experiments to produce a vaccine.
But
for
all
anything,
you need to know, there was a law court literally last month, a court in the US, where the president, the Dr. Fauci, Fauci?
Yeah, Fauci.
Yeah.
For who?
Yeah.
Organization.
He literally on there admitted that the vaccine is dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was a conspiracy. He admitted that COVID most likely was made in a lab, an American-run lab that's from China.
I agree. Look, I agree with these things. I'm not saying that the vaccines were good, but COVID was there. Because I lost my father to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And we were literally living together. We went to the hospital together, walking. I was walking with my father to the hospital, and 2 weeks later, he was gone. He didn't have any issue, any disease. That's why I'm saying the COVID was existed. Okay, it wasn't as much as they were saying. Vaccines didn't work at all, not at all. It was, in my belief. Okay, we had to get it. It was mandatory. But now we are saying that, okay, all these vaccines, they have issues coming.
But I think they released it, they released it from the lab. Just again, I'm trying to tread how old is your father at that point?
61.
61. So I believe that it was kind of made strong enough to kind of get rid of the older generation.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Who have the mindset to tell you, go and revolute, do this, don't listen to the government like this.
I agree. I'm saying the vaccines were wrong, all these things happened, but I'm saying the COVID was there.
Yeah, but on purpose, I would say.
Yeah, on purpose. On purpose.
Yeah.
But it was there.
Yeah.
And
it's odd you say that, because similar people around that age, a friend of mine, his dad had kidney dialysis. He was just in for his kidney dialysis, and somehow he's got COVID and he's died.
Yeah.
An uncle of mine, he was going to be put into hospital with COVID, but his wife said, no, I'm keeping him at home. I'll look after him at home. And he described it as being the worst cold and fever he's ever had in his life.
I had COVID.
Yeah.
I had COVID, and I was so sick. I was just sitting in bed. It's literally the flu, just harder.
It's that weakness
harder,
after as well.
And the flu already kills a lot of people per year.
Yeah.
100,000, I think, within that number, right? So just take the flu and double it. You're most likely going to kill most old guys who get it, whose immune system is just a bit weaker than how it should be, right? So it's literally just a few multiplied by 2. So bro, this whole situation with COVID and thing is just a whole
population
game.
control.
Yeah, it's a whole game.
Yeah.
Before it was war. Now we are in
now
a
you can't
civil
have war, because now if you have war, you're gonna destroy the area you're trying to take, and there's not really gonna be a population to control. So what's the point? If everybody has a nuclear, the Earth is gone. So if the Earth is gone, who cares? What am I gonna do with it? What's the point of war? So instead of it, let me just kill people with psyop and shit.
Look, I think it's like what you say, Tam. They're creating a massive distraction so they can carry on doing things in the background that they need to do.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think this is why the wise people are looking further afield, and they're saying to themselves now, look, I want to go to a place where I'm in control of my life. People are using decentralized exchanges to manage their money. They're getting into crypto. Crypto means you're controlling your own cash. And we as real estate brokers are seeing it more and more. And and when we put content out there promoting Dubai and saying, look, Dubai is a great place, you should move here. Another lot of the hate crime that I get is, I would never move to Dubai. My wife can't go out. My wife's going to be under Islamic law. She's going to have to be covered from head to toe. I said, listen, maybe your wife should be covered from head to toe because she looks like a fucking pig, And these comments are coming in, and I'm thinking to myself, you guys are so narrow-minded. You go out into Dubai, you go into the mall, you're going to see the most beautiful women walking. And I'm talking beautiful women that are covered from head to toe. I'm talking European women. I'm talking all kinds. So women ain't suppressed here, man.
Yeah.
Women are living their life in a safe environment where they can go out and do what they want and be a woman without some dirty pervert behind them. Old Bert saying, "Oh, look at her. I'm going to go and touch her bum." You know?
Have you, there was this also one that I always say, somebody from the UK or from America always says, Islam is so strict. Right? It's too strict. You guys have so many laws. It's too many laws. I'm like, okay, I can write down my laws in one piece of paper. You know how many laws America has? Every single day you're breaking a law, Habibi. I could take you to jail if I wanted to today.
Yeah.
They have, their constitution alone is more than the Islamic law. That's the constitution, let alone the laws. Like you can literally write law. They pass laws every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day, new laws are being passed. At least my religion, no new law is going to come tomorrow.
Look, the beauty about Dubai, most of the Islamic countries, they combining religion with politics.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about UAE and especially Dubai is that they separated these two things.
You hit the nail on the head there.
So religion is something separate. You want to be Christian, you want to be Islamic, you want to be Muslim, you want to be anything, you can be. But politics is something else. If there's a tourist coming, they need to drink alcohol. Okay, they can. There's a place for them. They can go there. If they want to go to the beach with their wife, they can. But if you have a Muslim wife, which want to go to the beach alone without being any man looking at her, she can do also. That's a beautiful thing.
You know, as somebody who comes from the West, obviously you guys have both grown up in Muslim countries, right? As someone who comes from the West, I think you hit the nail on the head there. In the West, Islam is portrayed in such a bad way. You know, they portray it as a violent religion, that they do this, they do that. And it's only when you step out of the West, and I've stepped out of the West and I've been in the East now, yeah? And you actually realize, you think, hold on a second, man, these guys have been feeding the community lies.
Because it's the exact opposite of what they want.
Because you come to the East and you realize, hold on a second, Islam is actually a very peaceful faith. You're walking around, and I swear to God, people in the West must think you're in Dubai and somebody's going to grab you and, employ some Sharia law, and you say, you must do this, you must do that,
Well, even Muslims, you don't have
because
to employ them.
these things were happening. These things were happening maybe before, but not anymore. And look, compare the Muslims, they're migrating to Europe with the Muslims who are living here. We can see the videos coming up like from protesters that they all Muslims, but how they act to people is different than how Muslims here are acting to the people.
Because they're paid. I'll tell you something. Okay.
Yeah.
You're from Iran. Remember? Okay. So the Islamic Revolution,
unfortunately,
was actually American. It was an American revolution by the Mossad. So
it was UK.
No. In Iran.
In Iran.
Yeah, in Iran.
So in Iran, before Islamic Revolution, US was supporting Iran and Shah of Iran.
So I'll tell you, what was his name? Mossadegh? Or what was his?
Mossadegh, yeah.
Yes.
Mossadegh,
okay.
Yeah.
So he was the president, correct? What happened is America wanted to get rid of him. I'll tell you, this is general. This one is kind of deep, but I like whole lectures and paperwork by CIA. So maybe I don't know if you know that one.
Send it to me.
But you can check this out. Okay. Mossadegh wanted an actual Islamic country where women can be free. He had an entire legislation. He was saying, this is an proper Islamic country. We're going to be a Muslim under Muslim governed law, and we're going to be fine. Right? What happened is America did not like that. So what America did is they sent, Roosevelt? His son at that time was in the army. So he sent him to go to over a military coup with Mossadegh on Mossadegh. So they got them. He paid a couple people in the Iranian army to go to the military, to go to his house and arrest him. They went to his house and they didn't arrest him because he opened the door and they said, "We're going to take you." And he said, "No. Saw it coming, Habibi." And then the other military came and took them away. And Roosevelt was sitting in a bush, hiding, and went back and said, "We failed." And then the president at that time in America said, "Khalas, no more." Roosevelt said, "No, I'm going to do it 100%. I'm going to do it." So what he did, he paid low-wage workers in Iran to go as Mossadegh supporters, but he told them at the end of every supporting protest, make riots. They pay at the end of every protest. Make sure that you destroy everything, and then you do it at the name of Islam and in the name of Mossadegh, so that at the end of 5, 6, however many years, everybody associates Mossadegh to an Islamist violent guy, just like they did with Trump in the Capitol riot. Exact thing. And then America took over, and then Iran from there on out started become the Islamist oppressive thing. That was actually just America saying what to do so that they can paint Islam as bad, so that they can say back home, look what Islam is doing, because they're afraid of Islam because it's exactly against what they're doing. Because if Islam would to rule, they would all be broke and everybody would actually be happy and fair. And they would all be in jail.
But look, I think religion, Muslim, Christian, Jews, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're a good person, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I am Muslim. I can be fasting in Ramadan as well, but I can lie to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I can sell you a property worth 1 million for 10 million dirham.
Exactly.
And I counted myself as Muslim. It doesn't, like, for me, religion, it doesn't matter. But this is how governments want to show people, okay, Muslims like this, Jews are like this, Christian are like this.
Yeah. Well, guys, listen, this topic could go in a lot deeper, but we're limited on time today. But look, just lastly, I want to finish it with a little call to action, because there's what's the point of doing a podcast without a little call to action? So if anybody's listening and you're interested in investing in Dubai, so what me and B both offer is a full-on online consultation. So now what that involves is, it involves like a half an hour, 45-minute Zoom call where we talk you through the whole of Dubai. So we use a full-on interactive map. We can show you all the developments going on across Dubai. We can show you price points. We can show you availability. And we can give you our opinion on where we feel the next hotspots are to invest. So you can make a decision based on our knowledge. So you don't have to come here and go through the hours and hours and hours of research, going to see this person, see this person, see this person, because a lot of people are going to be biased. We're going to give you an unbiased opinion and tell you what's good and what we feel is what not to kind of get yourself into. We'll also on the call talk about payment plans. We'll talk about currency, how you can bring money across, how you can do things in crypto, USDT. So it's the full service from start to finish. We're not here just to sell you something and say, bye-bye, off you go on your bike. I've said it many times before. We're more than a one-night stand. It's not in, out, shake it all about, as we say. It's a marriage. Yeah. You're in it for the long term with us. So if anybody wants to kind of take that up, just reach out to either B, he specializes in Farsi and Iranian and obviously English as well. Instagram's probably the best place, and the same thing with myself. Reach out to me if you want one of those consultation calls, and we'll be happy to talk you through everything. But on that note, thank you for joining us again, Tan, for another episode on the J2 Hub podcast. B, the sidekick who's here on all episodes now. And we'll be back with another one next week. Thank you.
Thank you.